In a small, peaceful village nestled in the mountains, there lived a humble monk named Kavi. His life was one of simplicity and serenity. He spent his days meditating, helping villagers, and caring for the sacred temple where he resided. But despite his tranquil existence, there was one thing that always troubled him. He was unsure of his own abilities. He often wondered if he had the strength to achieve something great. One day, as the sun began to set, an old traveler arrived at the temple. With a long, weathered beard and eyes filled with wisdom, he approached Monk Kavi. "I have heard that you are a man of great peace and wisdom," the traveler said, his voice soft but commanding. "I have something that may help you on your journey to self-discovery." From under his cloak, the traveler produced a small, intricate amulet. It shimmered in the fading sunlight, its surface engraved with ancient symbols. The amulet glowed with an otherworldly light that seemed to pulse with life. "This amulet," the traveler explained, "has the power to grant its wearer great strength and clarity of mind. But there is a catch." Kavi leaned forward, intrigued. "What is the catch?" The traveler's eyes twinkled. "This amulet only works if you truly believe in yourself. Without self-belief, it will do nothing. It is not magic that will bring you success, but the power of your own faith in your abilities." Monk Kavi was silent for a moment. He had always felt unsure of his own worth and had spent most of his life doubting whether he could achieve anything beyond his humble duties. But something about the traveler's words stirred something deep within him. Could he truly accomplish something great if he only believed in himself? The traveler handed the amulet to Kavi and smiled kindly. "I will leave you with this gift. It is up to you to decide how to use it." After the traveler departed, Kavi stood alone in the temple courtyard, holding the amulet in his hand. The golden light of the setting sun bathed the world around him in a warm glow, and for the first time in his life, he felt a spark of hope. Perhaps the key to success wasn't something external, but rather something within him. The next morning, Kavi decided to test the amulet's power. He walked through the village and came across a group of children who were trying to move a heavy boulder. They were struggling, their tiny hands unable to budge the stone. Kavi looked at the amulet in his hand and then at the children. He closed his eyes and whispered to himself, "I believe in myself. I can help them." With a deep breath, Kavi placed the amulet on his chest and walked over to the boulder. He knelt down, his hands touching the cool surface. For a moment he hesitated. Was this truly possible? But then he remembered the traveler's words. He believed in himself. That was the key. Slowly, Kavi pushed against the boulder. To his surprise, it began to shift. The children gasped in awe as the stone moved more easily with each push. Finally, with a final heave, the boulder rolled away. The children cheered and danced with joy, their faces filled with wonder. Kavi stood, his heart racing, but a smile spread across his face. It wasn't the amulet that had moved the boulder. It was his belief in himself, his faith that he could accomplish anything he set his mind to. As days passed, Kavi continued to test the power of self-belief. He used the amulet for many tasks, each time discovering a new strength within himself. He climbed the steepest mountains, meditated through the darkest nights, and healed the sick with his hands. Each success reinforced his growing confidence, and soon the monk who had once doubted his worth became known far and wide as a wise and capable leader. But eventually, Kavi realized something profound. The amulet, despite its power, was not what had brought him success. The true magic lay within himself. The amulet had only served as a reminder of the incredible potential he had always possessed. One evening, after helping a group of villagers build a new bridge across the river, Kavi stood on the banks, gazing at the setting sun. He held the amulet in his hand, now dull and lifeless, and smiled. He no longer needed it. He had unlocked the greatest secret of all, the power of self-belief. With that, Kavi placed the amulet at the foot of the temple's ancient tree, where it would remain for future travelers to find, knowing that the true power had always resided within him. And so, Monk Kavi's legacy lived on. Not because of a magical amulet, but because he had learned to trust in his own strength, and in doing so, had unlocked the secret to success.